wake up, wake up. It's the Flow Show, no filter, and this MacBook a little bit too fancy for me, y'all. What is up? What is up? It is 7:30, 2? And before we get into this, let me cover my ass. No Diddy. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show, no filter, are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good morning. Whoa. I'm here. Excuse me for the 2-minute delay. I'm getting used to this fucking MacBook. It has so many questions that I don't expect. It's talking about Google Chrome. I need to get a Google Chrome account. Never heard of that, but I'm here. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning from Australia. Linda, Lily, what's up, y'all? I missed y'all. It's been like 24 hours. Where y'all been at? You know we got to get into this Diddy mess. The jury situation has been a mess already. I got a little inside information. Like C-Tuck said, like the live, share the live. We about to get into all this jury sequestered information. And I mean, not jury sequestered, but we're going to talk about why the jury should have been sequestered. Spoiler alert, we're going to talk about, they have an article about why the jury should have been sequestered, and people believe that was a big mistake. And us here on the Flow Show, no filter, have been saying that forever. So now they writing articles about it. See something. Let me see this light. I think I want the light on this side. Let's see something, y'all. Yeah, let me see something. I think I want this light. I think I want to move this light a little bit. There we go. Okay. So, unless you're living under a rock, you know that the Diddy jury is deliberating. And we already have drama. Have y'all seen it? The jury wasn't even 2 hours in, and they were already sending messages talking about one of the jurors ain't listening. It's a mess already, and let's get into what happened first. Now, before I get into the articles, let me get into the rumors. Let me get into the rumors about what happened. There we go. There we go. Let me get a little light. Let me get a little light on this thing. There we go. I like the straight on light. So, yesterday, as we were on jury watch, I like Melissa. Melissa ain't playing no games. Melissa just said Melissa like me. Just pull his ass. I don't want to hear all the explanation. Pull his ass. That's what we got alternates for. But let me get into it. Let me give y'all the rumors before we get into the article. Let me give y'all some of the rumors that went around yesterday. So, for those that don't know, we were on jury watch yesterday. The jury started deliberating yesterday, early in the morning. And so they sent a note. Within 2 hours, 70 minutes, they sent a note. Wasn't even 2 hours yet, 70 minutes. They sent a note to the judge. And that note read, juror number 25 ain't listening. He's not listening to the judge's instructions. First thing I said, this jury trying to get the hell out of there. They are trying to get the hell out of there. They have their verdict. This is me talking. They have their verdict, and juror 25 is fucking it up. So the rumor is, and I don't know if this is true, but this is the rumor going around, that they're saying that all the jurors are basically ready to vote guilty. This is the speculation, but we're going to talk about it and see what it means. this particular juror is the only one fighting or saying or trying to give a not guilty. And he's not basing his not guilty on the laws as it pertains to this case and the evidence. And this jury is trying to get the hell out of there, get this verdict in, and get home to their family. That's kind of like this been the speculation. At any rate, it seems like there could be some truth to that, because first of all, it would be hard for me to believe that the whole jury was thinking not guilty and one person was thinking guilty or whatever. That seems far-fetched. So this jury ain't playing with him. This jury sent the note in to the judge, say this motherfucker ain't listening, and we trying to get the hell out of here. And so they sent the judge the note, and the judge replied back that they need to continue to deliberate. I guess saying, y'all gonna have to work through it. I can't give y'all a timeline or whatever. Yeah, that juror is Benny, but I think that juror gonna get. I think they gonna overwhelm that juror and get his ass. Because what they did was by sending that note, they told that juror, whoever juror 25 is, by them sending that note immediately, they like, look, we ain't fucking around with your ass. Like the minute he started talking stupid, they told on his ass. They told the judge. So they already let it be known this particular juror 25 is on trash. And by the way, y'all, I forgot to tell y'all happy Taco Tuesday. Get you a taco today. I know we're going to have tacos today. And be careful when you're walking your dog. Pick up the scoop, head on a swivel, seatbelt on if you're driving. Now that I got that out the way. I at least like the fact that this jury didn't waste no time and already putting somebody on blast who ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. The jury had a question about Doug. Yep. And then also the jury, thank you, Melissa. We'll make another announcement. The jury asked, they asked about drug distribution. And basically what they said was, if a person asks for drugs, let me get it right. I want to get this quote exactly right. Basically what they say, if someone asks for drugs and you give it to them, is that distribution? Is that drug distribution? I don't know how y'all feel, but I feel like that was a good question. I mean, I feel like, to me, that felt like a question that I don't think Diddy would want to hear. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this jury asked, by them asking that, to me, that bodes well for all the people hoping and looking for a guilty verdict. If you're looking for a guilty verdict, raise your hand. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for a guilty verdict. So since Melissa, I think that was Melissa that brought that up. Melissa, we're gonna go right into this for Melissa. This is from TM Sleazy is reporting. Oh, I see a lot of ones in the chat for that. Everybody, ones. Come on, we need to make this happen. We need all ones. Everybody in this chat, even if you ain't never talked before, put a 1 in the chat. Let's help get this guilty verdict energy. We need to push this thing through because juror 25 is trying to fuck it up, and we ain't about to let it happen. 1s in the chat, everybody. Okay, we got a 2. We got a 2 in the chat. Hey, you're allowed to vote for what you want to vote for, but we need more 1s. I like that. Angela said 1 of 1, 1 of 1. Come on, Angie. Bring them 1s, Angie. Come on, Tanya. Yeah, we need should be everybody except Benny. Yeah, come on, Munoz. Even Munoz came in there, y'all. Thank you, Munoz. Let's get them ones. Let's get them ones. Let's go. Let's go. So, as y'all flood the chat with ones for a second, let's get into this from TMZ Sleazy, aka TMZ. Diddy trial. Jury asked judge about drug distribution detail in second round of notes from the jury. Hours after jury deliberations in Diddy's federal trial hit a bump when the jury foreperson sent a note about Juror 25, saying that Juror 25 is not able to follow instructions. A second communication from the jury room was sent to the judge. Just around 4:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Diddy was brought back in the courtroom by federal marshals. Judge Aaron Subramanian announced he received 2 new notes from the jury. The first note sought clarification on the racketeering related count. And this note said, if an individual asks for a controlled substance and the person hands it over, is it distribution? Is it distribution? The defense and prosecution attorneys both told the judge they wanted to weigh in on this note. The judge said the second note was a statement, not a question. The jury was planning to go home at 5 yesterday. Judge said he'd bring jurors out to the courtroom and he told them he'd answer their first question first thing tomorrow morning, which would be today. He said they skip the courtroom and go straight to the jury room to resume deliberations at 9 a.m. sharp. After they left, prosecuting attorney Maureen Comey, who has done an outstanding job in presenting this case, I got to give her credit. She's got a lot of she received a lot of slack for some of her I think how she handled the Jeffrey Epstein thing, but I think she's done a great job on this case. This is not an easy case for many reasons, and she brought this fucker home on the closing arguments. She really made a believer out of me on her closing arguments. It was so broken down and so precise. But let me continue. After they left, prosecuting attorney Maureen Coleman told the judge she thinks the answer to distribution question is yes. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilio said he wanted more time to discuss with his team. The judge ordered the two sides to confer and have an answer in an hour. And the first comment under this story, somebody say, Diddy done. The next person said, Diddy will get life. Rap has been dead when Diddy gets found guilty on all counts. This has been a long-awaited funeral. Now, real quick in the chat, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about the jury asking about a distribution? Do y'all think that is a good sign for Diddy or a bad sign for Diddy? I'm interested. I think it's a bad sign for Diddy, but I'm interested to see what y'all think. Do y'all think it's a good sign for Diddy or a bad sign for Diddy? Let me know in the chat. I think it's a bad sign because, especially if the answer to that question is yes, which I'm sure it is, and where Miss Comey, the prosecutor, who I think is very knowledgeable, she also said the answer should be yes. And if that answer is yes, I think that's a bad sign for Diddy. And I think, like Melissa said, we looking at, hello, Rico. Hey, Rico. In other words, that jury was like, because put it like this, they might be like, if the answer to this question is yes, they might have their verdict. If the judge tells them that is distribution, I think they're going to come back, well, RICO. Well, judge, we have our verdict, and it's RICO. It is the RICOest, most RICO that ever RICO'd in all of RICOs. Sylvia says, I love Comey. Mark put a nail in Diddy coffin. It's a bad sign, and Diddy looked pissed. Is the rumor? Put all the rumors in the chat. RICO, RICO, RICO. Everybody said, I told you this is the most RICO-est RICO that ever RICO'd of all of RICOs. But like I think Sylvia said, nail in the coffin. And if that judge come back and say yes, which I think he will, and I'm sure Miss Comey knows what she's talking about, I think that will do it. I think they already have one other predicated act for RICO, and I think they're wondering about this controlled substance. If this controlled substance, if this judge say yes, Benny gonna be a really sore Benny in the morning. Rachel says he's done. Linda says toast. Simply well put. Simply put, toast, like toast in the morning. Burnt toast. The kind of toast you got to scrape the black part off to eat. You got to scrape that black part off. Sorry, Benny. I don't know if Benny would like that question. If he hands them drugs, is that distribution? If the answer is yes, then say hi to a little fellow that we like to call RICO. RICO, 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 the most RICO that ever RICO. RICO, RICO, RICO. This is the most RICO that ever RICO. I'm going to have a song for him. It's going to be called RICO, RICO. Wherefore art thou, RICO? Because RICO has entered the chat. When I saw that question, I always like to put myself in a person's shoes. And Nietzsche said, RICO suave. Are. When I saw that question, you know me, I always try to put myself in someone's shoes so I can get an accurate depiction on how I would feel. And if I was Diddy and I was sitting there looking like Morgan Freeman, and the jury asked the question, if someone hands them drugs, is it distribution? I would be fucking scared out of my mind. I'd be like, oh shit, they getting straight. They sound like they're being as technical as the prosecution wants them to be. Remember, I told you there were two types of people in this Diddy case. There are the technical people like me and you in my community that we don't give a fuck about all the fluff stuff that the defense is doing. We just want to simply look at the evidence, dissect and read the law, and see if it pertains. And then you got the other people who just want to shoot from the hip and they can't get out their own way and they just want to make their own laws up as they go. That's who the defense was trying to talk to and send a message to those who don't really want to look into the law and really dissect it and apply it to the evidence. They just want to say what the hell they think the law should be and say shit like this is a DV case. You think the feds didn't know if this was a DV case or not? But anyway, and the fact that jury sent a note, first of all, to say juror 25 ain't listening, and then follow up with a note to just get straight to the point and say, is this distribution? If someone asks for drugs and you hand it to them, is it distribution? The fact that they are that dialed into the details and getting straight to the meat of it, straight to the point, I think that bodes well for the verdict that we are all looking for. I think the majority of this jury is just like the Flow Show community. And if the Flow Show community was the jury, we already know where Diddy would be. Matter of fact, it would have happened yesterday. But I really think that this jury is being very technically sound and really going to take the evidence and be very literal. If this is the law and this is the evidence, Diddy, your ass is crock potted. Your ass is pan seared, air fried, George Foreman, microwave, souffle, flame broiled, deep fried to a crisp. Because this jury don't seem like the type of jury. This don't seem like one of them shooting from the hip, Benny, Dickie, and all these little Mohawk ditties. It already don't seem like they that type of jury. Because I actually loved that controlled substance question. I actually love, because it's saying they are really looking at, they're not overthinking it. They're getting down to, they seem like the type of jury that's going to say, just like the prosecution said, if we find one instance where Jane or Cassie did not want to do the freak off and they were forced or coerced, if it happened one time, like the prosecution and judge said, it's a crime. That is what I gather from that question. This jury is going to do their job and look at the situation very literally and just apply the law. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking is to look at the evidence, look at the law, and if it applies, Diddy gonna be fried, died, and to the side. I don't want you to overthink it. I don't want you to try to think it, make it bigger than what it is. Just like that question. If you hand drugs, it's distribution. And if you have distribution, all you need is one more predicated, one more predicated, this shit is getting in my eyes, y'all. One more predicated act for RICO. And from my humble opinion, if they get the distribution one and the judge says yes, then it's a wrap. You know they got bribery or all they need is one out of these. Bribery, which we have on a few different occasions, but the biggest one was the $100,000 paid for that tape where Diddy and Cassie were getting into it. We got forced labor by Diddy saying that he's going to send freak off tapes to Jane's baby father, or also he did the same thing to Cassie. That's forced labor, as I've always described to y'all in the R. Kelly case. We have sex trafficking as an option. Like the prosecution said, there are hundreds and hundreds of freak offs. If there was one freak off that Jane and Cassie didn't want to participate in and they were forced in by fraud or coercion, that's another act. We got obstruction of justice. And I don't know if they took kidnapping off the board. I'm a little confused because they took kidnapping off the board, but they really spoke about it during the closing arguments. So I don't know. But there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of predicated acts of RICO for this jury to choose from. You get a predicated act. You get a predicated act. You get a predicated act. Everybody has a predicated act to choose from in this jury pool. Pick one, anyone. So I believe at 9 o'clock sharp, when the judge answers this question, the answer may seal Diddy's fate. You, like you said, Steph, everybody. There's so many predicated acts in here. This is a room full of predicated acts. I think Diddy is cooked. I think he is cooked. Okay, we got some Mama Thon says They only removed the attempted from the charges. Okay, and just kept everything conspiracy. And that's another thing. By them keeping everything conspiracy, you don't have to actually do the attempt. You don't actually have to have done the crime. All you had to do was talk about the crime, talk about doing it. Just plan the crime and you cooked. When you're talking about conspiracy, Melissa says it's a laundry list of crimes. You get a car, yeah, like Oprah said. That's why I said you get a car, you get a predicated act, you get a predicated act, you got a predicated act, you got a predicated. It's so many predicated acts. He about to get. I told y'all this the most RICO is RICO. I'm telling y'all, I really like that answer. I really like that. I really like that question that the jury came with, man. It lets me know that this jury is not overthinking it. Yep. Somebody said, let me go to Elise. Elise said, made a great point. Elise said he screwed himself when he used the company credit card. That's RICO. There's so many. Like I tried to tell people, R. Kelly got a slam dunk RICO charge and got 30 years in New York. And even in the district that he was in was not even as aggressive, and the prosecutors aren't known to be as good as the Southern District Court. And R. Kelly didn't have half of these predicated acts as Diddy. That's why I was so confident. I'm like, if he got a guilty verdict, and Diddy has way more predicated acts than he could ever than R. Kelly could ever have. And so I'm like, it's hard for me to imagine them not come with a guilty verdict. Extortion was proven as well. That was one I forgot. Thank you, Mama Thon. Extortion. And when we talk about extortion as it being a predicated RICO act, if you remember, when Diddy was upset about Cassie fooling around with Kid Cudi, he sent threats to Cassie's parents and told Cassie's parents that if they didn't send over $20,000, he would put out the freak off tape on Cassie. That's extortion. They may choose that. There are so many different predicated acts to choose from. All you can say is Diddy is done. Diddy is done. Diddy is done. Diddy is done. So we also, when the judge, I think we may get a verdict today. Let me tell y'all why. We may get a verdict today. I think that all the jury needs is the answer to that controlled substance. They may come back with another note or two, but I really think, hold on, y'all, I gotta get my charger. Wait, where'd my charger go? I need my charger. But anyway, I think once they get the answer to that question, okay, so Mama the Great says hung jury. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I was thinking it may be a hung jury before deliberation started. I thinking it was a possibility. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think we're gonna get a straight guilty. I really do. I think we're gonna get it straight. Thank you, Munoz. Thank you, Munoz. For the $3.99 super sticker. Yes. Like Melissa says, you can definitely know You can definitely see where the jury's mind is by the questions they ask. Like I said, first of all, they didn't wait. Hey, look, they didn't just send a message to juror 25. Once they told on juror 25 and said he wasn't following directions, they were letting all the jurors know, we gonna be in this bitch breaking it down according to the instructions of the judge, or we telling on your ass. We trying to get out of this motherfucker before 4th of July and get back to our families, and we don't have no time for anybody in here going rogue. We don't have nobody in here trying to go desperado and trying to do their own thing. We're going to follow the instructions according to the law and get the fuck out of here. Anybody have a problem with that? Speak now so we can tell on your ass. I believe they got a flow in that jury. I believe there's a flow in that jury pool. Because they operate like flow running that shit. Because y'all know I would have sat down with the jurors and said, looky here. I don't got time for nobody trying to do their own thing. I need everybody listening and listen good. We're going to follow the instructions according to the judge. We're going to listen to this evidence. And we're going to get this is going to be the last Mohawk. This Mohawk ain't going to do no more damage because we're going to get to this guilty verdict. Just follow my lead. Don't come in here trying to tell me it ain't illegal to be a freak and this is a DV case and all this dumb shit that these little Mohawk Diddies and these comment creeps have been saying in the comments. That don't apply. So if you have any objections to what I'm saying, speak now so I can tell on your ass. And without further ado, let's get to this guilty verdict. Break. That's how I would have came. They got a flow on that jury pool. Juror 25 trying to get a book deal. Yeah, he's trying to get a book deal. They definitely trying to be famous. And you're probably gonna make some money. All these jurors are probably gonna make some money after this is over. All the interviewing they're gonna do. I'm gonna be like, we gonna all get in a huddle. If I was in that jury, we'd all get in a huddle. And we say, guilty on 3. 1, 2, 3, guilty. Thank you for all coming out. God bless you. Good night. And we would have been out of there yesterday. But like I said, in all seriousness, I love the questions. In other words, that question to me said, if Diddy hand drugs to someone, was that distribution? Because if it is, his ass is cooked, Judge. That was the rest of the good morning. Let's get into it. Guilty. Hey, look, Angelique came in hot. Good morning. Let's get to it. Guilty. Yanni says she hopes the jurors speak to the media and maybe we can get some insight for sure. The judge is going to agree, and that's going to be good. Yep, it's simple. It's simple. What we have here is the most RICOest RICO that ever RICO'd on a RICO. And I'm not talking about Puerto Rico. I'm not talking about Rico Suave. I'm not talking about any RICO other than racketeering RICO. This ain't a racket. Somebody said Cassie lied under oath. Cassie ain't on trial. That's Diddy problem. Y'all worried about everybody except the dude Diddy. Y'all worried about everything but what y'all need to be worried about. Cassie ain't on trial. It's the guy with the mohawk. It's the guy looking like Santa Claus. Diddy is stressed out, y'all. So what happened to all the people talking about they was cheering and applauding the defense? They were cheering at the defense closing arguments. To me, don't sound like they cheering shit when they asking simply, is handing drugs distribution? Who that question had, and the rumor is like someone in the chat said Diddy looked pissed. Diddy said, "What the fuck?" Yep. Hey, Sylvia said she'd be like, "I got my ribs and potato salad ready for the 4th. Let's go, guilty. Let's go and get up out of here, y'all. Guilty. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Guilty. We come out. Hey, look, we'll have our guilty vote ready. We be coming out, walking out like we an NBA basketball team in unison, focused, delivering this. Judge, we have our verdict, and our verdicts is guilty. We want to go home. We want to go home, but we don't want Diddy to go home. We want Diddy to rot. So we all agree that he guilty as hell. We don't only vote guilty, we voted guilty as hell. Yeah, by Wednesday for sure. Let's get a breakdown. Nisi 87 says, yes, in the eyes of the law, giving or furnishing drugs to someone else, even without selling them for money, can be considered drug distribution. And that, my friends, is what you call a RICO. And I said it once and I'm going to say it again. I loved this question that the jury came with. It let me know that not only just on the drug distribution, that they are locked in and focused on the letter of the law and the evidence, but that lets me know that's how they are approaching all of these acts. They are approaching it just the way the prosecution asked them to and was also instructed by the judge, which is why I believe they said Juror 25 is not listening to instructions. Juror 25 probably tried to come in there with that old, man, ain't nothing wrong with being a freak. It ain't illegal to be freaky. That ain't no law. That don't have nothing to do with the laws and the evidence in this case. This is way deeper than being freaky. If you think that this case is just about judging somebody for being freaky, then I'm going to question your ability to critically think, because there's a lot going on here. There are commercial sex acts. Sex workers have been flown and crossed on planes. You remember one of the charges is prostitution, to engage in prostitution, and something about it cross state lines of flying the sex workers. Bottom line is, if they have proof that he flew sex workers on planes across state lines to engage in these criminal acts, that's another charge that has been proven. I just don't see how you could get a not guilty. I just don't see a not guilty verdict. I'm sorry. If I did, I would tell y'all. Felicia says, morning, everyone. Guilty, like. Felicia says, morning, everyone, with the purple heart. Hey, Felicia. Purple hearts, we are at war. The Mann Act. Yes, the Mann Act. Andre, I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, but Andre says how laws are stated, it eliminates personal feelings. Exactly. It eliminates personal feelings. This is simply, if this was drugs and I have this in my hand, and then I place them in your hand, that's distribution. I don't care how mad you are about it. I don't give a damn. It is very simple. Just like sex trafficking. If I force you or fraudulently get you to participate in a freak off and you didn't want to do it, but somehow I forced or manipulated you into doing this illegal act. See, what a lot of people are forgetting is the freak offs, as stated and as they're put together, they are illegal. You can't go online and buy sex. You just can't. I don't know where in the society we got the idea that buying sex isn't illegal, but it is. And so when someone doesn't want to do these illegal acts and you force them by coercion, by fraud, by doing things like Diddy did when he said, we're not going to do a freak off because Jane said she didn't want to do one. He got her a plane ticket, promised her no freak offs. And before she even took off, what was he planning, y'all? A damn freak off. That's fraud. See, that's not a personal feeling. That's not an opinion. That is the letter of the law as it pertains to this evidence. That is what the Bennies of the world, the Dickies of the world, and all the little Mohawk Diddies running around in my comments, that is what they fail to realize, or I don't even want to say fail to realize, they just don't want to realize. That it's not about personal feelings. These are the laws that govern our society. You can't trick motherfuckers into freak offs. It's not a swinger lifestyle when you got to beat the hell out of them, manipulate them, threaten to not pay their rent, use rent over their head. You can't do this type of stuff. As much as people want to argue the law, if you want to argue the law, after Diddy get his 30 years, after they lock up Diddy and put him nice and comfy, cozy in the nearest prison, after that, go down and march and argue against the laws. Don't try to act like the laws don't exist or that because you don't agree with the law, we're not going to follow the law. That ain't how this works. Vote. Go protest. Call your local lawmakers. Tell them you don't like the laws. But what you can't do is run from the laws that are already in place. Diddy is already facing the verdict of his life based on the laws as they exist today. If you have a problem with the laws, that's your problem. The laws are the laws. You can't coerce people. You can't use paying someone's rent, giving them support. You can't use that as leverage to get them to commit illegal acts. The part a lot of people are forgetting is these freak offs are illegal. And Diddy knew they were illegal because he would try to have a mask on and he'd be in the corner. You don't even know it's Diddy at first. And he's being a pervert and he's pleasuring himself. And even at one point, he told Cassie, make sure they're not a cop. If he didn't know they were illegal, why would he think a cop would show up dressed as the Punisher? See, there are so many instances where Diddy even told on himself by things he said and did to let even the biggest asshole know Diddy knew these things were illegal. You know what I'm saying? Diddy knew these things were illegal himself. If y'all remember that one time when Diddy said, make sure this, when he called the sex worker, he had Cassie go on Backpage or Craigslist or some raunchy site and get an escort. But these escorts are paid for their time. They're not paid for sex. And what did Diddy say? He told Cassie, make sure that motherfucker ain't no cop. Do that sound like somebody that doesn't know what they're doing is illegal? Even though ignorance of the law is no excuse, does not excuse you from the law. But just for context purposes, Diddy knew himself it was illegal. He's told on himself plenty of times. So if you can wrap around your mind that these kings, knights, and freak-offs were illegal, now let's go to the next step. You can't manipulate, coerce, and fraudulently put people in these positions and make them do illegal shit. That is the whole basis for RICO. When you operate an enterprise, you can't have your employees running around buying drugs and setting up freak-offs for you. It's illegal. And that's what we're facing right here. And like I said, I am so glad that the jury is asking the right question. Yep, and like Andre said, the defense's goal was to simply minimize his actions, and they failed miserably because it appears that this jury is just going basically off the evidence and off the evidence and the law and how they pertain to each other. It don't matter if you minimize, maximize it, minimize it. I don't care if it's minimoski. If you minimoski it, make it down to all they concerned with is, like they said, if someone hands someone drugs, is that distribution? Yes or no? It's almost like they left that note and they said yes or no. If you hand someone drugs and is that distribution? Yes or no? Because we about to fry his ass if the answer is yes. That was the part of the note they left out. The second part to that note, I'm sure, was because if the answer is yes, he about to be cooked extra crispy, like KFC chicken on a Sunday afternoon. If the answer is yes, then guilty is the rest. That's going to be a famous quote. If the answer is yes, then guilty is the rest. And everybody can go home, have them some 4th of July, do some M80s, some fucking bottle rockets, the things you throw on the ground, get the kids the little snap bombs that you throw on the ground, throw that good chicken and ribs on the grill, and enjoy your 4th of July knowing that every victim, everybody who has been harmed by this man, including Cassie. Let's not forget Capricorn Clark got beat to a bloody pulp so bad that they had to pay her so much money that it's an undisclosed amount, but I have a family member, I have a close friend who is actually a cousin to Capricorn Clark, who detailed me exactly what happened at that time. And Diddy beat, literally, I got this from the horse's mouth, Diddy beat the hell out of Capricorn Clark. I'm not talking about what they said in the trial. Of course, they covered it in the trial. I'm telling you, a very, very close friend of mine is cousins to Capricorn Clark and said that Capricorn Clark, that Diddy beat the hell out of her around that whole Kid Cudi time. And Capricorn Clark had a lot of backup from gangs. And he said that the gangs, all those West Coast gangs, were ready to go after Diddy. And that's why they say Diddy paid one of the largest lawsuits that he paid out in that era for beating the hell out of Capricorn Clark, a woman. So anybody sticking up for this man, to me, is a piece of shit. Because not only do we have a million things in this case, but we have a man who's just been known to beat the hell out of multiple women. He broke Kim Porter's nose. Mark Curry told us that. He broke his child's mother's nose. Beat Kim. Beat Cassie. We saw him beat Cassie. You think that was the only time he beat Cassie? No, because we heard it in this whole case. He drug her 50 feet by her hair. From what we saw, listen, let me tell y'all assholes something that are sticking up for a man going around beating every woman in sight. Let me tell y'all something. If he would kick and stomp and throw shit at a woman who's barely 100 pounds in the hallway of a public intercontinental hotel, if he would do that in public, when he knows there's cameras, there's cameras in the hotel, anybody could come off that elevator or anybody could see it at any given moment. If he is willing to do that in that public setting, can you imagine the beatings that he passed out in the comfort of his own home? I need y'all to think about that. All the assholes defending this guy. A public hotel where he knows cameras, he's kicking and stumping motherfuckers like a damn fool. Then what the hell did he do in the comfort of his own home? Where there ain't no cameras. Where you ain't got to worry about nobody walking in on you. That's the part, the pieces of shit who are cowards, who can watch a man. This not one little small domestic violence incident. This man has been putting his hands and whooping women since the beginning. And just in case you motherfuckers didn't believe it, he did it in 4K for y'all. Just in case y'all, because y'all, think about it. They wouldn't even believe that if that wasn't in 4K. They wouldn't believe that he beat a woman or did anything if it wasn't in 4K. They had to face that fact. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you got half a brain, if he did that at 50 years old in a hotel with the world with cameras and everything going on, you don't have to be a genius to understand and realize what the hell he did in the privacy of his own home, or Cassie's home, or Jane's home, or when Capricorn Clark was at his home. You know what he did. And that's just one part of this asshole's case. Beating the hell out of women is just one part. Sitting back, using your money and power and influence to have a 19-year-old and you in your mid-30s, damn near 40, And you using money and power and her career to manipulate her into doing freak offs. Whether you feel like she was consenting or not, that is an evil, nasty thing for an old ass man to do. 19. Cassie was 19. And you got people, that's what's so fucked up about this world. You got people that say, oh, it's just their business. No accountability on a man being a man. No accountability on a damn near 40-year-old man who's supposed to be a leader, leading a 19-year-old into a freak-off blender. Why he couldn't lead a 40-year-old into the freak-off blender? Why does he have to choose a 19-year-old? And you have assholes defending this asshole. And they wonder why I am so harsh against them, because I hate that. I despise that. I will tell them in their face if they ever had enough courage to bring up some of this shit they say in the comments. If they ever had enough courage to say it to my face, everything I'm saying right now, I would tell these bastards to their face. I would love to. But they don't reveal themselves in person. I get nothing but love in person. I get nothing but people want to take pictures. They love me, and I love all the fans. But these little Mohawk Diddies and all these comment warriors, they don't speak up in person. Because I would love to tell them to their face and say, you are a creep, a pervert, a predator, and all the above. And this is why y'all are hoping and praying that Diddy is found not guilty, because it will make you feel better about the freaky, perverted, predatorial shit that you be doing in your city, wherever the hell you at. That is what it's about. They need to feel that their bullshit that they do is okay. And the only way they can feel that it's okay is if Diddy walks. But the guys like me, the many YouTubers like my guy Ticket TV, I love his commentary. And the guys in this chat, the guys that step up and say what's right and what's right, you know why we saying that? Because we don't believe in this freaky bullshit. We don't believe in manipulating women. I don't give a damn. I've had women in my life that would do anything I asked them. That's what women do when they love you. But you think I'm going to take some 19-year-old and force her to be doing freak-offs and doing shit she don't want to do? That's foul. I don't give a damn if you make her consent. Women, if you've ever been loved by a woman, women want to please their man. But you got some jerks that want to take that and take advantage of that and use a woman's good heart that wants to please you and have her doing bullshit. Freak offs and this and that and convincing her that getting peed on in her mouth is a good way to show me how much you love me. See, you got men like me and other YouTubers and podcasters that are speaking against this shit. We speaking against it because we don't believe in that shit. We wouldn't do that shit, and we have never done that shit. I don't give a damn if you talk to any woman or anybody I ever talked to, they would never say nothing nowhere near any of that bullshit. But these little Mohawk Diddies, these little comment creeps who are in the comments and defending Diddy, they are defending it because they believe in this manipulative, predatorial type of shit. And so they need to feel that this is okay. And the only way that they're going to feel that this is okay is if Diddy gets away with it. This is why they defend him so hard. They're actually telling on themselves. And I despise them. And I love that I have a platform that I can let their ass know I despise them. I hate men like that. One day, God is going to bless me with a daughter. And I tell y'all, if my daughter ran into a Diddy, it would be two motherfuckers on trial. It'd be Diddy and my ass for trying to attempt to unalive his ass. I'm not playing around with none of you guys. So that's why I don't give a damn about saying it out loud to the millions of people who check into my content every day, because I need all those predators and all those pieces of shit to know that I am not the one to play with. I'm not going to play with you. And so y'all see me in the comments, I'm very straightforward. People be like, why are you tearing them down the black man? I don't give a damn if he was black, brown, fuchsia, green, purple, orange, alligator green, yellow. I don't give a damn what color he is. You running around beating women and manipulating them and pissing, having men's pissing their mouth. She was 19, 20. She was 19 and 20 years old, and you got motherfuckers defending this asshole. And I just don't get it. So I'm saying it plain as day. I'm hoping for a guilty verdict. And anybody mad about that or feel a way about that, you can kick rocks and flip flops with no socks. I don't give a damn. Build you a platform so you can tell the world how you feel, because I'm telling the world how I feel. Like I said, guilty. Somebody said apparently both of Diddy's heads are itty bitty. Itty bitty Diddy with the Tootsie Roll. I love to have a platform to let all the guys know I don't stand for this shit. And if you come in my comments upset about it, I'm going to check your ass too. Plain as day. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't hide it. I don't change my tune. I love telling y'all, fuck y'all. Excuse my language. I love telling these men to their face, even if they got some little bot ass account with no picture. I love having an opportunity to just let them know how much I despise them. It brings joy to my heart to let the Dickies of the world know I can't stand anybody that thinks like Diddy. He is an evil man, and I use the term man very loosely. He is an evil man that has done evil things to people time and time again, which is why you didn't have not one soul on this earth willing to get on that stand and testify that Diddy was a good man. Not one person. Think about that. I don't know if we've ever even had a case like that. I think even Jeffrey Dahmer, the guy that was killing people and eating them, I think even somebody got on the stand in his defense. At least one person. Like Melissa say, not even his mama could get on that stand and speak for her child. If that don't tell you all you need to know. Nobody liked Diddy. Everyone knew, but nobody did anything. Nobody except the federal government. He has destroyed so many lives, so many friends I know. Blew up Kid Cudi's car. I told you he's a bully. Kid Cudi wouldn't harm a flea, and you blowing up his car. I like that statement. Redmond. Redmond said if he walks, it will empower all predators. That is a true statement. True statement. Not his mama, his son, his workers. Not one person could stand up for this guy in his defense. You know why? Because nobody truly liked Diddy. It was all a facade. It was all because of his money and his fame. But when the rubber met the road and it was time for somebody to speak to his character, everybody headed for the hills. Jay-Z disowned him, said he never knew him. Stevie J. Stevie J was all in my comments. If y'all don't know who Stevie J is, he was Diddy's right-hand man. And when I say man, I mean a lot of people believe he was his man, like a boyfriend. But that's just speculation. I ain't going to put that rumor out on Stevie J. Me and him already had our thing. But one thing Stevie J learned was, don't come in my comment section. I'm not your average content creator. I'm going to smoke your ass. Oh, yeah. Y'all know I had something. I had a little altercation with Stevie J on Instagram. I was telling one of my stories about, I was covering the fact that they said Stevie J may have been snitching. I said this came out of a blog. And Stevie J promptly came in my comments talking about to somebody else in the comments, talking about he's a hoe, talking about I'm a hoe. I said, I'm a hoe. I was like, you mad? He gonna say, keep that same energy. I said, you keep that same energy and stay quiet like you stayed quiet about them bottles of baby oil. That nigga Stevie J ain't say nothing after that. I had to make sure he was talking to me first. Then I let him have it straight on the comments. Then I put the comment in my story. You know, I be getting thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching my story. I said, you keep the same energy and stay quiet like you did about them 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And I was going to say bitch, but I didn't want to get my comment removed. So that's the altercation. So that's the back and forth me and Stevie J had. He had to realize, you know what? This ain't the content creator that you want to fuck with. Because you come in my comments or you come bothering me, I am going to cook your ass extra crispy. And I cooked Stevie J's ass while he tried to come in my comments and I didn't send for him. Don't come at me if I didn't send for you. And anyway, the reason why I brought up Stevie J is his ass want to come running to my comments and getting cooked. Well, why he didn't run to the stand? Why he didn't run to the stand to defend his man? You all in my comments talking about keep that same energy and I'm a hoe. But when your friend's life is on the line, he looking at life. Your ass would rather run into my fucking comments than to run your ass up on that stand and put your hand on that Bible and say, I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth about Mohawk Diddy. That's why they all are fraudulent, and that's why I cooks them all if they come in my presence. Because I'm the real deal. I'm not faking nothing. I'm not phony. I'm what I am. What you see is what you get. And that's not what the rest of these celebrities is like. How the fuck can you be all in my comment section defending this man Diddy? But during the whole trial, is he still alive? Does Stevie J even have a pulse? He didn't even come to the court. I came to the court. Stevie J didn't even come to the court. Not one day. But you in my comments riding for this nincompoop. And getting cooked at the same time. Because after I said that line about the baby oil, he got the fuck on. Because I guess he knew it was more where that came from. I was just warming up. That was my little warning shot to let you know I'm not the one. You better go to these other content creators' pages. I'm going to let you have it. Ask Benny. Ask Dickie. Ask Rich Dollars. I don't even know if y'all know Rich Dollars? Y'all, if you know Rich Dollars, put a one in the chat. That's one of them. That's another one of the ex-bad boy people who own this little reality show. He tried to come in my comment section before Stevie J. I cooked him. Y'all want to know what I told him? Rich Dollars came in my comment section under one of my Diddy posts, and he had the nerve to say, I was around. He said, I was around, man. He said, you wasn't nowhere around. Some shit like that. He came in my comment section and said, I ain't never see this cat. He wasn't never around. I said, oh, Rich Dollars don't know the comeback king flow is not the one to fuck around with. Y'all know what I hit him with? Because it was the story when I was telling about when I was around Danny DeCane and I kind of knew that they were complaining about Diddy and this and that. Then Rich Dollar comes in my comment section talking about he wasn't around. I ain't never seen him. That cat wasn't never around, like trying to play me. I said, oh, okay. You know what I said? I said, Rich Dollars, I was around Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent, you know, the A-listers. I ran around with them in this era. I was like, you was more like a D-lister. You wouldn't have saw me. Then he took his ass on. I'm not the one. My comebacks is what made me popular. I don't bother nobody. But you come in my comment section with that bullshit, you gonna get cooked. I said, Rich Dollars, of course you ain't see me. You was a D-lister in this era. I was with the A-listers. I was with Floyd Mayweather in his prime, 50 Cent in his prime, and that's what I was running around with. So of course you wouldn't see me. You was more of a D-lister, my guy. Never heard from Rich Dollars again. Rich Dollars turned into broke quarters. Rich Dollars came into my comment section and I turned his ass into broke quarters in 5 seconds. I am not the one. I don't bother nobody. I told y'all I'm a counter puncher. I only punch back. I could cook everybody up and down my timeline if I wanted to. I'm cold at that. My comebacks come in seconds. Y'all see me in real time. When I open up that kitchen, people get cooked. But I don't bother nobody because I'm not here to be like bullying people with my words. But if you come in my comment section, I'm going to tell you some truth. I've never seen Rich Dollars again. After that comeback, he took his ass on and never came back on my page again like he was supposed to. I am not the one you want to play with. I don't bother nobody. Don't bother me, because you're going to fuck around, be sitting on somebody's leather couch, sitting back, talking about it all started. You're going to be talking to some psychiatrist about it all started when I started fucking with Flo for no reason. Yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I got some D-list celebrity trying to talk about he didn't see me. Of course you didn't see me. You wasn't allowed where we was at. Play with me. So anyway, back on task, y'all. The Tootsie Roll. Tracy said the Tootsie Roll is the reason Diddy liked the baby oil. Yeah, leave me alone, y'all. I don't bother nobody. But if you want to cook, I'll put my mitts on. I'll put my mitts on. Yeah, let them know. Chef Flo, you better know. They all getting this. It's a RICO. This a RICO. All them people that was all in my comment section, all doing all that, didn't even show up to the courthouse. They didn't even show up to the courthouse. Yeah, they are. Cause see, they scared of anybody that's real. See, when they see me and they hear me, they know what I'm saying is real. They know I'm not just up here talking shit. They know I'm not up here just doing stuff for clicks and views. I am just being who I am, and that's who I am 24/7. You can ask anybody who knows me in real life. Shauna will tell you. My boy Cash will tell you. My boy Greg will tell you. Y'all know Greg from the lunch show. The same, when I cut this camera off, this is who I am. It don't change. Everybody that know me, one thing they say they love about my show is that I'm exactly who I am. I'm exactly who I am. I don't get on this show. I don't get online and be performing. This is me 24/7. I ain't bothering nobody. I wish the best for everybody, but do not come fucking with me. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, because I ain't the one. I love everybody. And like I said, all I care about is the flow community and my loved ones in my real life. Everybody outside of that, go on about your business. I don't have nothing bad to say about you, but don't have nothing bad to say about me. All I care about is my flow community, the breakfast crew, and like I said, my Apple community, my Spotify community, my Instagram community, Facebook community, TikTok community. Everybody who supports my movement and I support them, that's who I care about. If you don't fall in that category, or I don't know you in real life, I don't really give a damn. I just hope you live your life. Let me live mine. Tanya said, you are the best. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so much, Tanya. Somebody said, who said love it here? That's a good comment. Who said love it here? Hold on. Love it here. Rachel. Hey, Rachel. Rachel said love it here. Yeah, I love that y'all love it here. It's so rewarding. Let me just be honest. It's so rewarding that so many people love this show and what I do. Because like I told y'all, this ain't no act. This ain't nothing I'm doing. This is just me, who I am, being my authentic self, giving my authentic feelings. And I'm blessed enough to find a community that feels the way I feel on a lot of things, and also appreciates authenticity, which we don't really get much of these days, because most people are scared to be themselves, especially when you're talking to the world like I do. People are scared to be themselves. I'm not. And I don't have any other option, because this is the way God wired me. I can't be no other way. I have to be exactly who you see in front of you. And I will continue to do that. Like I said, I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all don't know the love that y'all give me is so rewarding. It makes me feel good that I can just get on here, turn this microphone on, break down this information, and give y'all my honest commentary, and y'all here for it. So we definitely gonna be checking out what's going on with the jury. Remember, we got a big, Melissa says we love the Flow Show fam. Yes, the Flow Show fam is amazing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a t-shirt. I'm gonna design a t-shirt, maybe hopefully this week. Called it's gonna be the Flow. It's gonna be the Flow Show fam t-shirt, like something for all the Flow community, kind of like a shirt or a hoodie that we might want to rock or wear. And we're going to do it. So let's shout out the subscribers. If you want to subscribe to the channel, to the podcast, go to the subscription. It's in the notes. Buzzsprout subscription. Everybody, we got a big day. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. I messed up. Let's get to Mouse in the chat. We got a big day today. The judge is going to answer this question in actually I think 7 minutes. Is it 8:53 Eastern Standard Time right now? If it is, let's get them outs, y'all. Because at 9 o'clock, we need to be tuned in to this judge and his answer to this drug distribution question. And like I said, we every day 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, the Flow Show No Filter. You can catch me live on YouTube. You can catch it. You can catch the live show replay on Facebook at 9 a.m. And also it's on Apple and Spotify 24/7 and wherever you get your podcast. So let's get the outs in the chat, y'all, and get ready to see what this answer this judge comes back with. I would not be surprised if we got a verdict today, y'all. I would not be surprised. Julie says, I am out. Everybody have a great day. Julie says, I am out. Have a great day. You too, Julie. I appreciate you and much love for coming and checking us out. Melissa says, I'm out. Heart, 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 heart. Elise says, I'm out. We out, Elise. Angela says, I'm out. T. Prezi say, bye, little Dickie, with the itty bitty Tootsie Roll. Angie says, I'm out. Lily says, I'm out. See you, Lily, tomorrow. Tanya says, I'm out. All right, Tanya. We see you, Tanya. Much love to you, Tanya. Anitra Cuzzo says, I'm out. Purple hearts for everybody. C. Tuck, my guy, says, I'm out. Sylvia says, love you and thank you for what you do. Love you too, Sylvia. And thank you for supporting what I do. Y'all are the best. T. Prezi say, love you, Flo. Love you more. You don't love me more than I love you. I love you more. T. Prezi say, love you, Flo. I love you more now. Don't ever get it twisted. Much love to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. As always, I love y'all. Let's pray for the right verdict. 9 o'clock, I'll be tuning in. I'll probably give another early recap, an early update. So look for my social media update probably sometime before noon. I love y'all, but I am Sylvia said I made her hungry with all that cooking. I love y'all, but yeah, I'm hungry too. I hope air fry. No, I ain't gonna call it air fry. I hope Shauna got some good food for me today. So everybody in the chat, make sure y'all tell Shauna to feed me some good food today. Let's get that in the chat. I need her to see it. Everybody, please tell Shauna I need some good food today. I need to eat good. I'm hungry. All this cooking talk got me starving like Sylvia say. Sylvia say she hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah, I will definitely keep my head on the swivel. Head on the swivel. Melissa says, Shauna, feed Flo. Melissa, thank you, Melissa, for co-signing. Angie says, Shauna got your belly. Anitra says, Shauna, he needs some good food today. Yeah, I need some good food. All this jury drama that made me hungry. Shauna Flo is hungry. We love Shauna. Shauna got your belly. Yes, yes, yes. So as always, y'all, I appreciate it. I love y'all. I'm going to see what good food Shauna got for me. And I'm out. Out. Love y'all.